Welcome to Foundation Friday. The dedication and covenant of silent unity was signed on December 7th, 1892 by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, founders of the Unity movement. It is unlikely when they signed this covenant that they had any idea how far-reaching unity would be as it evolved into the church we know and love today. We invite you to join us as we explore and share some of the original ideas, teachings, and writings of the men and women who created the foundation of the Unity Church.
Hi there. Thank you so much for joining us today for our Foundation Friday program. Today we are once again going to look at Eric Butterworth's essays on abundant living. Eric Butterworth was a wonderful teacher and unity minister for many, many years. And we do a lot of his work. We do a lot of his books as well. This is actually a lesson that he presented on September 24th, 1975. And the name of this one is Keeping Up with Yesterday. And I think you'll find his wisdom is every bit as current today as it would have been in 1975. So here we go. On display at the Museum of Natural History here in New York City are a couple of dinosaur eggs. They are quite an attraction. Upon seeing them, I couldn't help thinking that the eggs had been laid millions of years ago. And here they are, still untouched. For their mother, they represent total failure. After the time and trouble it took her to lay them, they were never hatched. Nothing ever came out of them. They are symbolic of yesterday's plans of which fulfillment has been thwarted. Looking at them in this way, we can find all the dinosaur eggs in our lives. Desires and ideals that have been postponed and neglected through procrastination. Jesus had something pretty definite to say about those who put their hand to the plow and then look back. They are not fit for the kingdom of God. Readers of the novels of Charles Dickinson will remember the lovable character of Mr. Macabre and his well-known words, procrastination is the thief of time. Yet he profited from his own wisdom, and he was always ready with ideas and theories that he never tried to execute, idling away his days confidently for something to turn up. Procrastination is the art of keeping up with yesterday. It is the unconscious practice of keeping one's desires and opportunities as museum pieces, as dinosaur eggs that are never hatched. One may hold ideals, wishes, hopes, and plenty of good ideas, but sink under the challenge of overcoming inertia. It is easy to do nothing or to say, I'll diet tomorrow. Perhaps some miracle will happen. Perhaps something will turn up. Manana is a favorite time. A good objective look at several causes of procrastination might help us to identify and root out such tendencies in ourselves. All of us experience all of us experience exalted moments of inspiration, at which times we see greater possibilities for ourselves and resolve to pursue some course of betterment. But how often this course fades because we do not feel that we have enough to begin. William James once advised, seize the first possible opportunity to act on every resolution you make and on every emotional prompting you may experience in the direction of the habits you aspire to gain. When an urge to do or have something comes to us, we must get into our consciousness that it is but the vanguard of a train of ideas, abilities, and substance, all that is needed to make the ideal a reality, a hope of fulfillment. The important thing is to get started. To begin is often half the battle. The indolent person pleads that he will start tomorrow. He forgets not only that tomorrow never comes, but also that tomorrow usually means never. We can all list we can list all manner of reasons why it is just not feasible now at this time to get started on some creative project or another. However, in most cases, these excuses merely cover up a tendency towards procrastination, a mental habit of keeping up with yesterday. This must be changed. Inertia must be overcome. Remember that when you procrastinate concerning what you would really like to do, with the thought that it is possible at the present time, you are simply hanging on to a consciousness of limiting thought, which keeps you in the past, which keeps you as you have been. The word impossible is called by Marabu that blockhead word. Experience tends to condition us to accept certain things just as they are, as the facts of life. And this is extremely limiting to us. Experience provides us with boundaries of endurance, of accomplishment. The desire to do is proof positive of the innate potential to do. Therefore, you must be willing to take steps to break the inertia. Otherwise, you will simply continue to lay dinosaur eggs that will never hatch. Goethe wrote, "Are you in earnest? Seize this very moment. Whatever you can do or dream, you can. Begin it. Boldness has genius, power, magic in it." The procrastination habit is so subtle that we must look for little things you can do to break the inertial force. We need to work to do things promptly, clearly, and systematically. It is important to be a good finisher. Letters half written, the house half cleaned up. Many of us have a multiplicity of half accomplished projects and responsibilities. These are our very own unhatched dinosaur eggs that create pressures for us by their very unfinished existence. I suggest you occasionally go through the clutter of your home or place of work and either discard these things or set up a firm schedule for their completion. This leads us to think about another cause of procrastination, the oppressive feeling that we are hopelessly weighed down by all that we have to do. In our tense, strained existence, so many of us are prone to become mentally uneasy because of the variety of our tasks. Things accumulate not only on our desks and in our closets, but also in our minds. Worrying about how to get them all started and completed, we start none. Thus nothing gets done. Paul has given us the key. But this one thing I do. For everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. It is not possible to angle for fish and shoot deer at the same time. The man who tries to kill two birds with one stone, usually he misses both. In order to overcome procrastination, we need to eliminate certain concepts from our mind. And one of them is someday. Someday I am going to have a nice home or a beautiful car, or I am going to take a trip abroad. Someday I am going to be cured of this stomach trouble. Does this sound familiar to you? Strangely enough, even after we have caught the good news of the new insight in truth, we keep right on procrastinating with someday. What is wrong with it is that it blinds, it binds, it limits the one who practices it. It implies that God's idea, man, is lacking, that he is dependent upon external things, other men, other conditions, his physical self, the passing of time for good. If we want anything for ourselves, we must accept it today, or we will never have it. There is no future tense in the eternal mind of infinite now. There will be no future time in which to know a truth or to make a demonstration. The only demonstration there is, ever was, or ever will be, is God's. And that is right now. Determine that now is the time. Print that on a card and place it where you will be sure to see it every single day. Charles Fillmore used to say that any time is a good time to start doing something about a good idea. There are many reasons for a human being to procrastinate, but the results are always the same: a confused, disorderly, indecisive life marked by incompleteness and frustration. If indolence or the pressures of seemingly overloaded days has developed for you the habit of putting off until tomorrow what should be done today, if you are postponing the good you desire by thinking that someday you will have it or someday you will get to it, if you are thus keeping up with yesterday and sitting on sterile dinosaur eggs, then start right now to obliviate that habit. Remember, there is nothing futuristic about your oneness with God. Before Abraham was, I am. Build on this realization. Affirm your unity, your oneness, not as something you might have, but which is the very foundation of your life right now. In prayer, seek to overcome the tendency to get things to happen tomorrow or someday. Do not treat to get better, treat for wholeness now. Do not treat that you may find a job, but affirm that you are now in your right place. Do not pray that you may become the kind of person you want to be, but affirm that you are now God's perfect child and are endowed with all the potentialities to be right now what you desire to be. For a long time, I have used for myself and recommended for others this very interesting affirmation: divine order is established in my life and affairs. I think clearly and act decisively, and I'm prompt to do the things that should be done by me. I'm going to repeat that again more slowly. This is the affirmation that he used and invites us to use as well. Divine order is established in my life and affairs. I think clearly and act decisively. And I'm prompt to do the things that should be done by me. I hope you've enjoyed our lesson today. I hope you get as much out of Eric Butterworth as I do. But before you go, please know that you matter. You are sacred, and you are so, so very loved. Namaste.
Thank you for joining us, and let's stay connected and grow in spirit. We are on Facebook. Search for Unity Church of El Cajon and follow us and like our posts. You can reach us on YouTube at Unity Church of El Cajon. Please subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and leave comments which can help us improve. We are on the web at unityofelcajon.org. Email or call our church office to receive our weekly newsletters, which lists all of our activities and opportunities to learn and grow together.